Hello, this is Don, and this is my dissertation. There are two kinds of people with money and people without money. People with money, they invest their money so they can make money. When they invest in companies, they become shareholders. They like low risk and high returns. In academic theory, this is called Shareholder Wealth Maximization, or SWM. People without money, well, they need to work. For them, the corporation's growth or capturing market share is more rewarding than returning money to their investors. In academic theory, this is called Corporate Wealth Maximization, or CWM. Here's a story of a man without money, or at least he borrowed other people's money. Jeff Bezos. His vision was market share now equals revenue later, which is the long-term creed for corporate wealth maximization. Jeff's business strategy was to maximize revenue and cut costs. He started Amazon.com in 1995. Since then, from 1995 until 1997 and 2000, revenue kept increasing. Earnings kept decreasing. Shareholder equity kept decreasing. And stock price kept increasing. This is an example of corporate wealth maximization. It's where the company and the stock price grows, but shareholder wealth doesn't. In Japan, many years ago, corporate people ruled Japan. The companies got money from banks, and they were sort of their banks, from a corporate family group called Keiretsu. And so shareholders were mostly corporate people. And after World War II, to capture market share, Japanese companies didn't have the luxury of making profit. Corporate growth, not shareholder wealth, allowed for things like lifetime employment. Then in the 1990s, the economic bubble burst. Banks failed. The government regulated the other banks that survived, and companies had to rely more on the stock market for money to grow. The foreign investors increased on the Japanese stock market, and they demanded profit and threatened to replace CEOs that didn't make profit. Foreign CEOs of Japanese companies increased. And for the company to survive, the CEOs often fired employees to increase profit. Shareholder wealth maximization replaced corporate wealth maximization in Japan. Shareholders were interested in profit and estimated profit more than corporate growth. So here's my hypothesis. Before 1990, the 1980s, Japan was corporate wealth maximization, and stock price was correlated with revenue. So if you take companies from the stock market, you should see the correlation between revenue and stock price. After the 1990s, in the 2000s, Japan became shareholder wealth maximization oriented. So if you take data, you should see a correlation between stock price and earnings, estimated earnings, and shareholder equity. That's the dissertation in a nutshell.